Hi everyone, how are you today? It is Saturday, March 19th. So, do you know what today is? Today is the third Saturday in March of the year, and so this is World Quilting Day. So, it's so cool. So, I only get to participate in the evening portion of these things because I don't quilt on Saturdays. So, but um, I do now. I get to quilt this evening. I'm so excited. I am going to quilt this quilt that I got. Is this right? Yes. I got this quilt kit last year, intending to quilt it on World Quilting Day last year. I did not get to do it. Other things came up, and I actually just didn't get to even sit down that day, I remember. So it's called World Peace, and it's put out by the Fat Quarter Shop. I believe it's a Fat Quarter. Yes, so this is a Fat Quarter pattern even. And the reason I love it, I'll try to get close and see if that works. Look at those adorable, even the white piece, if you can see it right there. Sorry, my nails aren't done. I'll be doing that this week. But look at that. They're little pins. I just love it. And the colors are so great and so awesome. I just love it. So I'm pretty excited. So I hope that you are quilting today as well, and you can share with me and everybody pictures and ideas that you had. You can quilt anything, just work on something, and something that you love. You know, I heard somebody tell me the other day that quilting for them, they quilt very quickly and they sew very quickly. And I was like, that's really great, but are you enjoying it? And they're like, yeah, I'm getting it done really fast, and I get to see finished projects, which is wonderful if that's what you want and that's what your goal is. My goal for quilting is relax, aside from it being a business, of course. Things for my business I have to go a little bit faster at, but even then my goal is to enjoy what I'm doing. So I wanna slow down and enjoy the stitches, enjoy learning. I love learning. I'm one of the few people I think that I've ever met that actually can say I love school. I love it now. I didn't love it when I was in school because I was so busy trying to grow up, trying to get to the next stage. But now that I'm through all those stages and I'm almost, I'll be 50 very shortly. I am figuring things out and slowing down and enjoying. I love being a savta, which is a grandma in Hebrew. I love being a grandma. And it's one of my greatest things is seeing my kids really happy and making memories with my grandkids. And so a couple of times, I have a little boy back in the States named RJ, and he has come in since he was little, and he'll put some things through my sewing machine and be like, look, I'm quilting. And my little grandkids have just started. The oldest one is that's here in Israel, has started as well, coming in and asking me, can we go quilt? Can we go quilt? And so it's very exciting. So anyway, quilting for me is really about enjoying and loving what I'm doing. And if you don't love it, then find a different hobby. Find something that you love that can be relaxing and just really a stress relief. And as I've gotten older, that's what I want. I've raised a lot of children and helped raise many, many, many more children. And so I'm excited to be able to relax, and I have a great husband that allows that. So that's really great. So yay. So anyway, everybody go and download something. I can't tell you if this was a free pattern or not because I bought it with the kit. So the fabric wasn't free. But I love it, and it's so adorable, and I'm excited to do it. And it's only 25 and a half by 25 and a half, so I think I'm going to be able to do this, and I'm going to stay up all night with you guys and check back here and there and see how we can see what we can do with that, okay? So, so yeah, I'm super excited. So I'm going to go and I'm going to start cutting, and you go and pick a pattern and grab it from your stash and grab some other stash, or just do one of those. I don't make them very often, but actually I've never made one, a scrappy quilt. I don't make them. I have to have more structure with my things. Even if it's an applique and I'm going all over with it, I need to have more structure. So I'm not a very good scrappy person when it comes to that. But just grab some scraps even and throw them together and start making some 4 patches or 12 patches or 9 patches, and just have a good time today. Okay? Okay, everybody, how are you doing? Just like I'm going to reach for my coffee. I'm on my 2nd cup of the day. All right, everybody, how are we doing? Is everybody getting things cut and ready to move to the next stage of whatever quilt you're working on? Again, I'll tell you, because it's been a while since I've been on back. This is the World Peace quilt that I'm doing. It's from last year through Fat Quarter Shop, and I just never got it done. And so this year, I am getting it done. So it's pretty exciting. There's some tips and tricks that I think that you should know, and we'll go over those in a little while. Also, there are some notions that you really should have, everybody should have, that aren't expensive. So when I first started quilting, I felt like I needed to have everything somebody said I should have. So I wound up with a lot of notions, don't tell my husband, a lot of notions and things that I just didn't need. I ended up, thank God, going through the years and passing them on to other people. But there's just some things that you don't need, and hopefully throughout some of these videos we'll be able to weed through some of those. But one thing that you do need is one of these things. I cannot remember the name of them. I will find out for you before the next video. And hopefully I can link it down below. By the way, if you would subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like my video, that would be really great. I work really hard at figuring out things to do and how things work and all of that. And so anyway, it's my little spiel. So this is a very cool invention. I don't know who invented it. I want to say this is by Clover. It's called Quick. I don't know, I can't read that very well. Quick Quarters S. I don't know. Anyway, I will find out for you and let you know. Quilter's Rule. It's very cool because say when you have 2 items. So for instance, this is letter A and letter H of what I cut out for my piece. You have the 2 pieces. Let me grab 2. That's H and that's A. So you have 2 pieces here of fabric. And if you need to make 2 half square triangles, you can do it the traditional way and use a ruler and cut them. You tend to waste more fabric that way, and also it just takes longer. I am all for doing things at a leisurely pace that you love, but I also don't want to go so slow that I don't get anything done. So there is a fine line in there. So with this, I will show you down on my mat here in a second, but you put your 2 pieces together like this, and then with the magic of camera, so now what the goal is with this, it's very cool. So when you're trying to make 2 half square triangles, instead it's got this dotted center. And I have this friction pin, which is another very important item to quilt with. I use friction pins. I've never had any issues with them, but I will give you a warning that I have heard other people who have complained about problems with their friction pins, but I've never met one in person, and I know quite a few quilters. So anyway, that's my disclaimer. You can use a chalk pencil. You can use, there's so many different kinds of marking tools out there for fabric. So I'm doing it a little bit darker than normal so that you'll be able to see. My pen is running a little bit low on ink, it looks like. So you put it in the center, and then you draw your lines on the outside. It's very cool. So now that I've drawn my lines on the outside, you can see I have a dark spot dotted line in the center and two main lines. I'm sorry, this one didn't come out very well, but you get the idea. So now I'm going to take this to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew on both of the dark lines. All right, so I take this over there. I've got my two pieces of fabric together. I take it over here, and I'm just going to sew right along those dark lines. Flip it. I just lift my foot. I have a little button here on my Bernina that lifts the foot and makes it to where I can go quickly with that. Then I can come back over here to my table, and I use a ruler and a rotary cutter, and I just cut right along that line. And now I have two distinct triangles. So when you open them up, I always iron. When I iron to the dark side, unless otherwise stated, which sometimes it does state. And a lot of times I actually press open just because the seams seem to fit better, but I don't think I'm going to do that on this one. So anyway, that is my spiel for having this notion, which I will find the name of it. I think it's just quarter inch, I don't know. It gives a 1/4 inch on each side, which is very cool. A 1/4 inch on the sides is from the center is what it does. So it's a very cool notion, and everybody should have it. It makes it super easy to follow. So I'm going to pause my video and continue. I've got to make 4 of these letter H's and A's together, and then trim them down to the size that I need. Keep quilting, get some coffee. Okay, boy, that took a little while. There's quite a few of these little blocks that you have to make, but I love the colors. I love the colors of them. And then there was quite a few of the, let's see if I can give you a little bit better of a zoom. Oh, wrong way, sorry. Nope, that's it. That's as good as it's gonna get. So a little, they had you do some of these, of the larger ones, and then they had you do some of the smaller ones. So now it looks like what's going to happen is I'm going to set these big ones over here for a bit. It looks like you're going to pick the same colors. Let's see, there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think it is 6 from each one, even though you only need 4 to make this. So let's see, it looks like these are my jade prints, and so we're going to make a pinwheel. But first we are just going to put them, so this one is like this, and this one is like this. And then down on the bottom, it's going to be this. And sometimes I get these out of order, and so I don't want to do that again, like that. Okay, so this is our pinwheel, and we're going to put those together. And it looks like we have to make a symbol for matching small half square triangle units. So I only need 4 of these. So that's really good. But I think I need all of the colors. So I'm going to do this up and then come back, and we'll see where we're sitting. Where are you guys sitting in your quilting, and what exactly are you quilting? So that's something I would really like to know. A lot of people are doing the scrappy stuff right now, which is really great. I just can't do those. So anyway, get another cup of coffee. I might switch to tea because I'm feeling a little bit hyper now. So we'll see what happens. Okay, we are moving right along to the next step. So let me put you down. Okay, so our next step is moving, excuse me, I'm sorry I have my phone in the picture. Okay, so the next step, now that I have my pinwheels done in all of the colors, look at that. There's pink, there's green, there's purple, there's blue. These look so cute, I'm kind of excited. Okay, so it says to make 4, 1 of each color. So then you take a D fabric square and you put that, oops, nope, I'm wrong. You take a D fabric square. Okay, so that's where these must come in. I get it. Doesn't say it, but I'm assuming that that's the way that it goes. So that goes there. This goes like this, and this goes like that. All right, and it says to make 4 of those. So I will be right back after those 4 are made. Okay, so I am back. It took me a little bit longer than I had planned. My machine started to act up a little bit, so I had to rethread it and take the bobbin out and fix it a little. I don't normally have issues with my Bernita, so it was an interesting thing, but it was a quick fix, so that was good. Okay, so here are my 4 squares. I'll turn around. So I've got those colors. Okay, so now I get to set these aside. I'll put them over there for now. And the next step in my quilt pattern is to use my ruler again. This is actually, I found out what this is called. This is called a quilter's quarter. Yes, it is very cool. I really love it. So now I have to put, sorry about that. Now I have to draw the lines on the back of all of these B, and I will match them just like I did with the small ones right here. I have a few of those left for the next section. Just like I did with these, I now have to do with a little bit bigger of a square, and I'll sew those together. And then, are we getting tired yet? We need to get up and move around a little bit. It's 10:30 in the evening here. I'm normally laying in bed doing some sewing on binding or appliques or something like that right now. But I'm up and I'm going and I'm excited and doing pretty good so far. So I'll be back shortly with some more finished blocks. And I think I'm like halfway through right now. Also, I did look up, and this world peace quilt, the pattern is free. All you have to do is go to the Fat Quarter Shop and uh, just click the button, and you can download it and print it or read it off your tablet or whatever works for you. So I'll be back shortly. All right, I'm moving right along onto the next step of my world piece. So this part is doing exactly the same thing that I just did on the other one, making the pinwheels out of all of these little pieces that we have. So I am now going to do the exact same thing that we did before, and I have to make one from each print again. And then I do get to do something different after that, and I am 3/4 of the way through my world peace quilt. So I'm super excited. How are you all doing? Let me know. Let me know. All right, how's it going for you guys? It is midnight here in my neck of the woods, and I am still quilting. I've had phone calls and friends calling, and World Quilting Day is a huge phenomenon, and I love it. All right, so here's where I'm at. So I have finished making the larger pinwheels, and they're gorgeous. They're different colors than the ones before. And this is the next step that I'm doing right now. You make 2 of these, and then you have 1 on each side. So let's see if I can do it for you to see. So you'll have these on this side. This will go in the center, like that. And then you will have these. Let's see if I can find my 2 blues. These will go, oh, this is upside down, I apologize. That'll go like that, and it will go like, this will be here, and this will be, okay, this will be here, and this will be here. If you can kind of see that and get a good idea, that's the way this next section will look. And then after I finish these 4, I will only have 1 more section to go, and then you put them together and I have my quilt. So it's pretty exciting. And then in a later video, I'm actually going to quilt the quilt and have you guys see what it's like to quilt and answer questions for you and go from there. Okay, so I'm on to the next section. All right, everyone, we're in the home stretch. I'm super excited. I've got 1 more block to put together, and then we're just going to put rows together in the border, and we'll be done. So I would say within the next half hour, 45 minutes, we'll be done, and that's really good. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning here, and so I'm excited. I'll show you where we're at. So this is the last block that we have to put together. These are all the rest of my little squares. Remember, these started with just sorry, I just saw that this one was turned wrong. Didn't want to sew it like that. These started with just the squares that we used this ruler on, and put with the friction pin, wrote on them, sewed them, cut them to make half square triangles, and this is what they are producing. So it's pretty exciting. I finished these, so these are all done now, all 4 of those. And of course we've finished these blocks as well. So we are at the home stretch on the last bit here, and and then we'll be done. So I'm super excited to see what this turns out. We moved here with just, we came here to Israel with just some bags, and this is one of those kits that actually, I call it bag worthy. It was something I really wanted to do, and it made it into the bag, and so now I'm finishing it, and that's pretty exciting. And the other very exciting thing about this, let me get the rest of the kit here. What is really cool about getting a kit from Fat Quarter Shop, I've gotten several. I've done several kits from Fat Quarter Shop, and also some from their. They have every year they raise money for the Texas Make-A-Wish Foundation, and I do their quilts every year from that, and it's pretty exciting. They raise a lot of money for those kids to get their wishes, and this year, instead of doing a quilt, I'm trying my hand at the cross stitch, and I've only done one other cross stitch pattern. I did the Cross Stitch University from Fat Quarter Shop, so I encourage you to go over there. I'll try to link it down below as well. But the neat thing about this particular kit is they also included the backing. I've never had a quilt kit that comes with the backing. Usually you have to buy it separate, or most of the time I piece my backs together with the leftover fabrics, and sometimes I have to add in a few more, but pretty much the leftover fabrics is what I use. And so it's pretty interesting. This is going to be able to be actually completed, hopefully this week, binding even on it and everything. So stick with me for the next few videos, and you can see the quilting and the binding and the finished project. All right. So I'm almost done, and I will get back to you when I start putting the rows together. Okay, so I'm taking a little break in between sewing my rows together to unsew something I sewed upside down. So I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you how important a seam ripper is. It's quite important, actually, especially right now. And there's lots of different kinds of seam rippers on the market. I happen to have two favorite seam rippers. Let me grab the other one. It's right here. I have this marble one that feels very good in my hand and comes out and goes in the little hole, and it's like ergonomically good for you. It's really nice. And then I have this other one that is by Seam Fix. I bought this many years ago at my favorite quilt store in Washington, Paisley Duck. And she buys them. You can also get this in a little format. I don't like the little one very much. It's very thin, kind of, more challenging to work with. One of the great things about this seam ripper, which I haven't seen in any others, is that when you pull the seam out and you've got these little threads left, this you can use it to pull the thread out. So this is like a very rubbery tip, and there's two. One that's got this it's a blunt edge, and then this side which has this type of edging on it. So it's really good. These are my two favorite. There's one that even comes with a lot of your machines. I know my Bernina came with one. I don't like it, but I have it in cases of an emergency, like I can't find one of the others that I'm in love with. So anyway, I thought I would pop in and just tell you how important a good seam ripper is, and that you should find one that you really love. All right, I'll be back shortly. All right, everyone, I'm so excited. There is a picture of my finished quilt for the day. It is a wall hanging. I had a wonderful World Quilt Day this year, making my world piece, and I hope that you did as well. And thank you for hanging out with me and going along. It is 2:30 in the morning here for me. I had lots of phone calls today of people who I don't normally get to talk to, but because it was quilt day, they were thinking of me, and that was very sweet. I had a great day. So thank you so much. I guess evening for me. I had a great evening. I hope that you all got to quilt all day and got to do exactly what you wanted to do. All right, until next time, and we will be quilting this quilt. That's the goal. We'll be quilting this quilt. I don't know what I'll do. Maybe a meandering or a just a wavy stitch or something like that. I've been getting into the quilting with rulers, but it's a small project. I don't really think I'll be doing that this time, but if you've got some ideas, let me know. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.